Carlisle Airport was busier than it's been for some time today as spectators from all over the county arrived to watch the arrival of one of the last Vulcans. It was a bit like the annual fireman's outing, with men from as far away as Newcastle coming for the show. But the pair most attention was paid to were Tom Stoddart and David Hutchinson, who had actually paid for the aircraft.
Well, I'll be very pleased when it actually arrives.
Have you been waiting for long?
Well, it's about 14 months since we first started the idea.
It must be the realisation of an ambition of a lifetime, Tom.
Yes, like David, I'm very pleased it's coming, and I'd like to see an old aircraft preserved, hopefully, when we get it in.
But then disaster struck. RAF Waddington phoned to say there was an indefinite delay because of a technical problem.
Well, according to RAF Waddington, there's a failure of the CG computer on board the aircraft at the present time, and the engineers are attempting to fix it at this moment.
Can the aircraft fly without that?
I don't think so. I'm informed it must be serviceable before the aircraft can take off.
One of those who'd travelled to see the Vulcan was little Andrew Wilson from the Lake District, who'd written to ask if he could come and sit in the cockpit.
Well, yesterday I sent a letter to the airport, and this morning I got a telephone from the manager, and he said that it'll be landing today. So this morning I came.
What's your interest in the Vulcan?
Probably because it's so old.
And you want to sit in its cockpit?
Yeah.
But then at 14:13 the news came that it was airborne from Lincolnshire, and at 3 minutes to 3 the huge bird arrived. After a couple of low passes, X-ray Juliet 823 made her final landing to the applause of the spectators before taxiing to a position on the edge of the airfield. The pilot of 823 was Squadron leader Neil McDougall, who was a veteran of the Falklands campaign.
Well, I was captain of the crew that did the Shrike missile attacks down at the Falklands, and eventually finished up on the second sortie by diverting into Rio, and spent a week in Rio before coming back to UK.
What actually happened there?
Oh, the nose probe. Normally on the aircraft, just above the TFR pod, there is a nose probe through which we can receive fuel from a tanker. And unfortunately, on that particular occasion, the probe broke when we were in contact with the tanker, so we couldn't get any fuel.
What were your feelings at the time?
My feelings at the time were not surprised, because it had not happened to me for some time, but it happens on a fairly regular basis. It is a weak point. It's a design weak point in the system, so that we don't do any more damage to the aircraft. And I can't say I was particularly surprised, and it was just a case of get on and do the job that you're paid to do.
Will you be sorry to see the Vulcans go?
Oh yes, I've been flying the Vulcans now almost continuously since 1962. In fact, this was one of the first aircraft I flew in 1962 on 35 Squadron down at Coningsby. This one has been a free-fall bomber, it's been a nuclear bomber, it's been a blue steel bomber, and it's even been part of the workup for the corporates. So it's seen full life in the Air Force, and it's really, it's tired. It's tired, and it's time to put to bed.
I'm very pleased and relieved it came in the end, and now the work starts to get the thing, keeping it nice, looking like it is at the moment.
What's that going to involve?
Well, a lot of keeping corrosion at bay and keeping the paintwork as best as we can and things like that.
Will that be an expensive business?
It will be in due course when we're going to start buying paint.
I think probably the question most people want to know, will it ever fly again?
Well, perhaps unlikely I think, but we'd like to think it might in some future date, but not planned in that way at all.